Stop letting your grocery bill eat your ODSP check. Today we're exposing the little-known Special Diet Allowance, the only program that turns your medical diagnosis into up to $250 extra cash for food every single month. Imagine swapping food bank line UPS for doctor-approved, nutrient-packed meals that actually heal your body and stretch your budget. In the next 5 minutes you'll learn exactly which conditions unlock max dollars, how to fill out Form 3111/3112 without a single red ink rejection, and the one renewal trick that keeps the money flowing even if the rules change. But first, do me, and the entire ODSP community, a quick favor: smash that like button so this life-saving info reaches more people stuck choosing between medicine and meals. Hit subscribe because I drop ODSP hacks and disability finance tips every week, and ring that bell so YouTube actually tells you when the next video drops. The province may freeze the allowance, but together we can level up our knowledge and our bank accounts, one share at a time. Ready to turn medical necessity into monthly cash? Let's dive in. Section 1: Why the Special Diet Allowance exists. Managing a chronic health condition can double, or even triple, your grocery bill. Gluten-free breads, lactose-free milk, high-protein shakes, thickened liquids, or renal-safe meal replacements all cost far more than the items covered by a basic ODSP food budget. To keep people healthier and out of hospital beds, Ontario introduced the Special Diet Allowance, SDA. It is a non-discretionary top-up that sits on top of your basic needs and shelter rates, so you never lose it by moving cities or earning modest employment income. The province will add up to $250 per month per eligible person to your check when a regulated healthcare professional certifies that your diagnosis requires a medically prescribed diet. Unlike the core ODSP rate, indexed to inflation at 2.8% in July 2025, the SDA has not risen since it was created, meaning its real value shrinks every year. Still, for many recipients, that $250 is the difference between following doctor's orders and relying on food banks. Section 2: Who qualifies and why ODSP does not fund trendy weight loss regimes. To be approved, you must have a diagnosis listed in the ministry's special diet schedule. The roster now exceeds 40 conditions and spans digestive, metabolic, cardiovascular, infectious, and neurodegenerative diseases. Examples include celiac disease, Crohn's or ulcerative colitis, short bowel syndrome, chronic renal failure, predialysis or dialysis, HIV/AIDS, ALS, cystic fibrosis, lupus, Parkinson's, Huntington's, severe food allergies, milk, wheat, extreme obesity, BMI greater than 40, hypertension, hyperlipidemia, diabetes, gestational or lifelong, and chronic wounds or burns that demand extra protein. Because many of these illnesses trigger involuntary weight loss, fluid restriction, or micronutrient malabsorption, targeted nutrition measurably improves outcomes and reduces hospital readmissions, hence the provincial investment. Certification must come from an approved healthcare professional, physician, nurse practitioner, registered dietitian, midwife, or traditional Aboriginal midwife within their scope. Each professional confirms the diagnosis and indicates how long the diet is required, which sets your review date. Section 3: How the dollars are calculated. Every condition in Schedule 1 carries a specific dollar value that reflects the extra monthly food cost. Diabetes on insulin is $10, celiac disease $97, while advanced renal failure treated with dialysis can pay $242. ODSP staff total the amounts for each eligible condition you list, but stop when the running total hits the legislative ceiling of $250 per person. Special rules prevent stacking closely related diagnoses. For example, if you have both hypertension and diabetes, only the higher of the two amounts is used. Weight loss-related diseases have an additional tiered rule. If you have lost more than 10% of usual body weight, the program pays $242. For 5 to 10% loss, the lower schedule amount applies. SDA is added after your basic needs, shelter, remote communities, or pregnancy nutritional allowances are calculated, meaning it never reduces other benefits. It is not taxable income, nor does it affect federal programs like the Canada Disability Benefit. Section 4: Applying, renewing, and appealing. Ask your caseworker for Form 3111/3112 Application for Special Diet Allowance, the only ministry-approved form. Your healthcare professional completes the medical worksheet, ticking each qualifying diagnosis, noting any weight loss details, and specifying the required duration. You must then sign the declaration and consent section before returning the original to ODSP. Keep a copy for your records. The allowance starts and is backdated to the month ODSP receives the paperwork, so submit promptly. Eligibility is reviewed at least every 12 months, so book your follow-up visit early and sooner if the professional sets a shorter interval. If ODSP denies or reduces your claim, the decision letter will outline reasons and your right to request an internal review within 30 days, followed, if necessary, by an appeal to the Social Benefits Tribunal. Documentation, lab results, dietitian notes, medication lists strengthens both initial applications and appeals. Section 5 Practical Strategies to make the allowance work. Audit every diagnosis. Bring your specialist reports to the appointment. Secondary issues like lactose intolerance, hypertension, or chronic wounds can nudge you closer to the $250 ceiling. Prepare evidence. Up-to-date blood work, BMI trends, wound care notes, or allergy tests help the clinician justify selections and duration. Time block renewals. Set a calendar reminder 3 months before the review date. If the form lapses, payments stop and ODSP will not issue retroactive arrears. City of Toronto appeal quickly. A concise written explanation, additional medical letters and photos for wound/ostomies often overturn denials at the internal review stage without a lengthy tribunal hearing. Leverage community resources. Food banks, dietitians at community health centers, and diabetes education programs can stretch SDA dollars by supplying subsidized meal kits, glucometer strips, or bulk buying clubs. Advocate system-wide. Because SDA has been frozen since inception, writing to your MPP, joining ODSP action coalitions, or signing ISAC campaigns keeps pressure on policymakers to index the allowance. ISAC used strategically, the Special Diet Allowance not only protects your health but also frees scarce dollars for rent, transit, and other essentials, helping you move closer to real food security on an ODSP budget.